1,300 people have died during this year's pilgrimage to Mecca, and at least 19 people were killed in an attack yesterday on the capital of Russia's southern region of Dagestan. Good morning. I'm Corva Coleman from NPR News, and here are today's top stories. The heat wave that has smothered much of the country for a week is persisting. Heat indexes could hit 100 degrees or more from Minnesota to the Gulf Coast today. Other areas in the Midwest are struggling with heavy rain and flooding. One person is dead in South Dakota. In Iowa, state officials are monitoring the ongoing effects of flooding in the state's northwest counties. Iowa Public Radio's Sheila Brummer reports the state's governor is requesting a federal major disaster declaration for some of the hardest-hit counties.
Overflowed rivers from heavy rain destroyed homes, waterlogged farmland, and impacted power, water, and sewer systems. Some residents even had to be rescued by boat or National Guard helicopter. Iowa Governor Kim Reynolds says the devastation is severe and widespread across the northwest of the state.
This is going to take several months to really get people back to normal and back in homes.
By Sunday evening, Reynolds had declared 22 counties to be disaster areas. Reynolds notes that most of the flooded areas saw rivers crest to record-breaking levels and that more rain is forecast for the coming days. For NPR News, I'm Sheila Brummer, Sioux City.
Saudi Arabia says 1,300 people died during this year's Hajj pilgrimage. The health ministry says most were unauthorized pilgrims who did not have the proper visas and took longer routes on foot in extreme heat. NPR's Aya Batrawi has more.
Saudi Arabia's health ministry says despite the swift response of Saudi paramedics and volunteers, more than 80% of those who died did not have the official Hajj visas and had no hotels or proper shelter. The ministry says many were elderly or chronically ill. Temperatures during the Hajj last week soared past 115 degrees as nearly 2 million Muslims from around the world gathered for the annual pilgrimage in and around Mecca. Thousands were treated for heat stroke and heat exhaustion during the Hajj, which ended last week. Reports suggest many who died were from Egypt, where the government says it will crack down on tour operators behind unauthorized travel. Egyptian media report a basic Hajj package can cost between $5,000 to $6,000, while traveling without a Hajj permit is half that amount as the local currency sheds its value. Aya Batrawi, NPR News, Dubai.
Russian officials say at least 19 people were killed and a dozen others wounded yesterday after gunmen attacked the local capital of the southern region of Dagestan. Russian officials say most of the dead are police officers, and they say that 5 or 6 attackers have been killed. NPR's Charles Maine says the assault was coordinated.
Within minutes, gunmen opened fire on a synagogue, which subsequently caught fire. It's worth noting that Dagestan has a small but ancient Jewish presence. The gunmen then also attacked a police traffic post and 2 Orthodox Christian churches, killing a local priest.
NPR's Charles Maines reporting from Moscow. You're listening to NPR News from Washington.